Okay. So they figured that the person who lived in the Koberger household was the father of at least somebody that they really wanted to talk to. But with this, of course, they were able to quickly, identify his one son, Washington State University criminology student, Brian Christopher Koberger.
Oh, my God. And then once you see the criminal, you're like, it's him.
Yeah. And, well, now they were able to, of course, contact AT&T and, request to get Brian's phone records. And this is one of the most pieces of evidence about this case, because remember that he was trying to get an internship at Pullman PD, saying that he was like this rock star with anything that had to do with cell phone pings, right? Brian's phone records showed him leaving his apartment in Pullman, Washington at around 2:47 a.m. He then suddenly, his phone stops reporting to the network, which is something that happens if you turn off your phone or switch it to airplane mode. And it's like this for a couple of hours. We know that the murders happened between 4:04 and 4:20 when the vehicle was racing out of the neighborhood.
Right.
Well, Brian's phone would turn back on and show him coming from the direction of the King Roadhouse at 4:48.
Okay. Yeah, that's where he turned it on. Didn't wait till
he turned it on. So he literally placed himself on the outskirts of the murder.
Right, but leaving
at the exact times.
Yeah.
So he would then take a very strange route, but would end up back at his apartment by 5:30 a.m. Presumably, he went somewhere to get rid of any evidence that he had on him. But phone records also showed him returning to the area at 9:15 that same day, possibly considering attempting to go back in and find the knife sheath that he had left behind. I like to believe that he was in sheer full-blown panic attack that entire time.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
So even more alarming.
Probably not. He's probably so fucking arrogant. He's like, they need a lot more than them. They're fucking idiots. Because he's the smartest guy in the world.
He's so smart.
The whole world's idiots. He's surrounded by dum-dums. I hear you, buddy.
You're like, huh. Even more alarming, though, was that, like I said earlier, from July to November, it would show that Koberger had been within a football field's distance of 1122 King Road 23 times. Now, would you not think to just leave your phone at home?
No.
Or keep it off the entire time?
Yes, I would. Well, no, see, I'm a dum-dum because I would need GPS. I would need Waze, so they would get me for sure.
I mean, he's been there 23 times. He's probably got a pretty good idea.
Barring that.
I'm tying it to my cat so that I had my phone. I was walking around my house the entire day.
All right. I understand. You were just like fucking all your neighbors. And you're pissing everywhere.
I don't think GPS tells you that.
Oh, no. Right. It wouldn't tell humping? No, it wouldn't. It's not a heart rate monitor. Never mind.
So,
excuse me, person?
So, why, like, this guy's so smart. Why would you just put yourself on the very outline of the fucking murder scene?
Wait till you get home, turn your phone on, and watch TikTok.
Tie it to your cat. He's just walking around the house.
Tie it to your cat.
Like, no, I couldn't have been home. I was jumping on the back of my couch. You can see that.
Yes. Yeah.
So they were also able to find an Amazon purchase that he made in March for a K-bar knife that would have matched the sheath that they found, but likely didn't think that it would be traced to him. He likely didn't think it would be traced to him because instead of using a credit card, he used his credit card to buy a gift card.
Idiot. I love it.
So with that, they were able to get arrest warrants. And on the very early morning of December 30th, 2022, FBI would forcefully enter Brian's home, like smashing windows and shit.
Nice.
Which is like poor family.
Oh, yeah, the family. I forgot about them.
Only to find Brian in his parents' kitchen wearing nothing more than shorts and a t-shirt with white latex gloves on. And he was separating his personal garbage from his family's garbage and putting the stuff that he had tossed out into a Ziploc bag.
What the hell?
Because he was worried about surreptitiously taking something out of his trash like they already did. We can figure out it's your father, smarty pants.
So then what is he going to do with his trash? Burn it?
I don't know. I don't know. He's weird. What do weird people do with their own personal trash?
Like, yeah, okay. So we're going to go through all this trash. And then we saw separate trash in a Ziploc bag, and we figured that trash is going to be protected.
Thank you so much for protecting the trash.
Yes. Okay, thank you. You know what? You did really good in evidence prevention or preservation.
Yeah. Preservation. So they swiftly took him into custody. Brian's sister, Melissa, had actually noticed before this morning that her brother was exhibiting some really concerning behaviors, such as the separating garbage. She had also witnessed him meticulously clean his car. And that's one thing that they said, that like, there's no way he got out all of the evidence. His car was meticulous. He must have worn like some sort of like plastic coveralls and stuff like that.
And then balled it up into
And
a bag
that's,
or
yeah,
something.
like there's nothing in his car. There was no like DNA anywhere around him. Like, have you seen that picture though, that was like a couple hours after the killings? And it's just him. He's never looked fucking creepier. He's super pale and he's giving a thumbs up after having a shower. Like he's got wet hair.
To who?
The camera.
He took his own photo?
He took a selfie of him giving a thumbs up hours after it was like, I think by the time he figured if he got in the shower, it would be like, that's like a home run.
Oh, man.
Well, it's the creepiest
Did they
photo of
feel
him by
bad?
far. Did he feel bad?
To psychos? No.
No.
Like, so there's no guilt or
No.
remorse?
And that's why I think with Olivia's victim impact speech, she focuses so much on
Yes.
loser you are and
Yeah.
how stupid you are. And you think you're smart. She was the only thing that is actually really scary is how basic you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was like, what's he doing? Why is he separating his garbage? And then she watched him meticulously clean his car. Like he's got the shop vac out there, like just cleaning
Right.
absolutely everything.
You know, you and I ain't murderers.
Oh God, no. They're like, well, I don't know. Did the guy like crumpled up goldfish crackers? Because there's tons of them back here.
Listen, it definitely looks like a crime scene. We're not sure of the crime, but it's definitely something going on.
So yeah, he's outside in Pennsylvania in December too. He's cleaning his car.
A little chilly.
Like, you're not doing that. She also watched him one night as he took the family garbage bag out to the bin, and then he oddly placed it in their neighbor's garbage bins, which would be
Yeah.
so fucking annoying as a neighbor. She mentioned these things to her dad, Michael, and he just kind of sat down and he thought about it for a minute, and then he just, without saying anything, just walked away. Like, I think Michael had just been so eager to hang on to any little bit of hope that Brian had, come out of his concerning years. And now they were just eagerly awaiting for him to be Dr. Brian Kohberger. Agents would take Brian into custody and as he was getting detained, he asked him, am I the only one being detained? And of course he was. Because,
What? No, we're bringing in your sister.
Yeah.
You idiot.
We're bringing in the neighbor. They've got some weird shit in their garbage. So,
Am I only being detained? No, actually, the neighbor's like, you found the evidence in there? There was some there. I knew it. You guys check his garbage yet?
so they would have a 19-page probable cause affidavit, which would have all the evidence that was pointing to Brian as the person who committed these crimes. He would get flown back to Idaho, and he would have his arraignment hearing 5 months later on May 22nd of 2023, where they would just advise Brian of everything that he had been indicted on. He chose to stand silent at the arraignment, which as a result, the judge was kind of forced to make a plea of no guilty on his behalf.
What, the attorney didn't even?
The attorney said he's choosing to stand silent. And the judge was like, okay, well, I guess we'll just say non-guilty then, because I don't think you can just say somebody's pleading guilty. I don't know the point behind it.
That's what I would have done.
I don't know.
I would have been like, all right, I'm going to assume guilty then.
Okay, bye.
All right, thank you. You will go to the electric chair.
So, yeah, they said, this is when we're going to do things. They planned to have it for October that year, but it was kind of like a tentative like placement holder.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the crime itself, this would be a possible death penalty case. The defense was pulling out all the stops to try and get this postponed as long as they possibly could, because it is a death penalty case. It's very important that you get all of your information there. And it was supposed to start on October 2nd. But in June of that year, prosecution announced that if convicted, they will be seeking the death penalty on Kohberger. In August, Brian waived his rights to a speedy trial due to his team not being prepared for the October date. And in December, prosecution requested a trial date be set for summer of 2024. On December 28th of 2023, the King Roadhouse was demolished. This was a decision that many did not agree with, especially being before the trial.
Yeah, you gotta.
Especially with how weird the house is. Like, you would think that the jury would walk through it or something so that they had a better understanding of the layout.
I just think that, right. I wasn't thinking for evidence prevention, but or evidence
preservation.
Yes, you're right. Yes. I was just thinking like the Dahmer apartments is gone, right?
Yeah.
Like and the Bernardo house. I just think
Oof.
places like that have to be gone.
Yeah.
You just can't have them there.
And so, like I said, many didn't agree, but Ethan's brother Hunter found this to be a good thing because where his room was in the frat house, he would wake up every morning
and
and
he
look
could
out the
see
window
it.
and he could see it.
Oh,
and it's
Jesus.
still,
and he was still at school.
yeah, and it's still, well, we're now in 2023. Like, this is a whole year later.
Right.
And there's police caution tape all around it. So, like, it's just every day you wake up and you think of what happened to your brother in that house.
Nightmare just never goes away.
Yeah, absolutely. So in April, so we're now in April of 2024, the defense offers an alibi update stating that the reason his cell phone towers were pinging around exactly where the murderer's phone should be as well
Sorry, I'm gonna laugh. Go ahead.
was only because he liked late night drives and stargazing.
Stargazing.
He's stargazing.
Idiot.
I mean, he's lucky he didn't come in contact with the killer because they were right at the same time at the same place.
What are the odds?
Boy, oh boy. So his team would also fight like hell to keep the Amazon purchase of the knife out of trial because according to the defense team, AI can influence what a user sees and clicks on. So who can even be certain if it was Brian or AI who added the knife to his cart and hit purchase?
Everybody who's ever used Amazon can be certain.
It was so... I watched this whole part and it was so funny to watch the judge just be like, what are you saying here? Like, what are you trying to get at?
Yeah, and because you bought 3 things in the past, it suggests that maybe you would like this thing. If you buy a bunch of dog toys, eventually you're going to see some fucking dog food for sale.
And the defense team was trying to say they put it in. They were trying to give it as like they gave like a code as to why this shouldn't be admissible, and the judge is like, that's not even the right code. Like an Amazon purchase isn't doing something wrong. He goes, the code that you're using is for when people are doing something wrong pertaining to the case, and that's why. So for example, he's trying to school the defense.
Brutal.
Yeah, he's like, for an example, if we're in here for a domestic assault case and earlier in his life he had already beaten somebody, that code would be used to keep the old beating out of the courtroom so that it's not admissible at this point. He's like, what you're talking about is just an Amazon purchase. You're not giving me the right code.
Wow. I love when they do that, by the way.
It was so good. He was like just all slouched over on his desk too. Like, what are we doing here? So, yeah, it was AI that bought him the knife.
That's like, oh my God, that's so funny.
And then in June of 2024, the judge said that the trial will begin in June of 2025. So earlier, prosecution had asked for, remember, summer of 2023, I believe.
Yeah.
So the judge gave them, he gave the defense more than enough time.
In October.
Yeah, a long time to figure out their and so therefore, at this point in time, they're like, there's going to be no more continuances. This is it. It's starting in June. And in September of 2024, Idaho Supreme Court said that
continuances.
Yeah, it's true.
And in September.
Idaho Supreme Court said that the trial will be moved 300 miles away for a change of venue to Ada County, and it would be seen in front of District Court Judge Stephen Hippler, who I love. In March of this year, the defense wished to present information. This is exhausting. Information stating that they recently had Brian assessed and that they would like it to be on record that if he appears emotionless and just blankly stares, that isn't because he's a monster, it's because he's on the autism spectrum. And also, they're like, furthermore, on this autism diagnosis that we just got him, if he is convicted, then the death penalty should be taken off the table because it would be unconstitutional because of his autism.
Right, his impairment.
I know so many autistic people who have never killed even one person.
I would think I don't know if I know of an autistic person that has killed.
Yeah.
Well, except for this guy.
So, well, we don't even know. Like, it could be a doctor that gave him a diagnosis that was in the defense's pocket.
Now, what's your history in medicine here? Oh, I'm a foot doctor. All right. You know what? Hey, you're a doctor.
So, again, this would later be denied by the judge. They're like, he was a PhD student. He knows between wrong and right. And his constitutional rights. So, the judge would also later deny another request to push the trial back. And they announced that jury selection should begin July 30th and opening statements should begin August 11th. But
that's fast.
But, well, they have to, right? They can't keep them sequestered for that long period of time. They can't be looking up information. It has to be like right before we're starting. Because otherwise you have a tainted jury pool.
So you start right away,
Yeah.
jury duty.
Can you start tomorrow?
Right.
So, yeah. So, and then so June 30th of this year, Brian's team, after all these fucking stops and starts and everything that they're
Delays.
trying to get in there, Brian's team announces that he is willing to take a plea deal that would remove the death penalty and it would ensure that he spends the rest of his life in prison.
But why wouldn't he want to die if he's got no feelings?
He's scared.
But of what? You won't even know it. You're just gonna, I don't.
He doesn't want to die.
Oh,
Okay?
right.
He's spooked by it.
And it would rob the world of his presence.
Blech.
No, but that's probably what he thinks. He's like, listen, I'm the smartest guy in jail. I'm the new jailhouse lawyer.
Yeah, God.
Everybody comes to me.
So there's speculation as to why he suddenly decided to completely change course, because the entire time his team was fighting to get evidence left out, move the trial, say he wasn't guilty, like only weeks before, and suddenly he was pleading guilty. Now, some have speculated that it is because on November 13th, shortly after the killings at around 6 a.m., Brian would call his parents and speak with somebody there. There was actually 3 calls. One was a half an hour and a bit. He would speak with them 3 times. One was 54 minutes. We don't know what that call entailed. And if it went to court, then there's no way that they wouldn't make the parents testify about what that call was.
Oh.
So possibly he was trying to spare his parents the trauma or worse of having to
Maybe
deal
they're
with
trying
that.
to help him cover it up.
I
don't want
don't
to speculate.
think
I don't wanna
so, and
speculate.
we'll never know is the thing. But the more likely option as to why he pleaded guilty is just because he's scared of the death penalty. Kaylee's whole family was very vocal about the fact that they did not support the plea deal and they wanted to see him get the death penalty. Her brother Stephen would say that now Brian just gets to go to adult daycare where he will never have to pay for room and board or food for the rest of his life.
I mean, there is the anal.
Let's hope.
That's pretty. I say the worst part of jail.
He's in
would be the
solitary
anal
confinement
rape.
right now, but yeah,
Well, I mean,
fingers crossed.
well,
So sadly,
fingers
though,
crossed he attacks somebody and someone's got to break it up. So tell the people who didn't listen, who missed the first part.
yeah, in the first part of this recording session, Matt schooled us all on how to stop a dog fight. You might want to listen to that. It's very educational.
Any dog that's attacking, kind of got a lockjaw on. Yeah, it's very handy.
Yep, handy, literally. So sadly, for the families of the other 3 victims, they were in support of the plea deal. So
Did they take that into consideration?
the Goncalves family
families?
said that as they had a meeting with the prosecution, like the DA, and
okay.
as they were leaving, they were just kind of like, "Oh, by the way, we might offer a plea deal," and they were like, "Absolutely not."
Oh,
Yeah.
barf.
So, at the sentencing hearing, Brian would receive 4 life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus 10 years for a burglary charge. Just so you know, in Idaho, if you break into anyone's home with the intent of doing anything bad, taking anything or doing anything bad, it's an automatic burglary charge.
Oh, really?
Yep. So the families of the victims would give their impact speeches. We did a whole episode where we mostly talked about the Goncalves speeches and just how incredible they were.
Could not like the composure that they had.
Yeah. I tried to read it to my husband and I was crying throughout it. And I was like, imagine if this was like somebody I even knew. Like,
right.
I don't know how Olivia did it so incredibly, but she did.
Yeah.
Judge Hippler would call Brian irredeemable, and he would say, in quotes, "The loss this killer inflicted was not just the death of these people's children, siblings, grandchildren. As we've heard today, it has ripped a hole in their soul, destroying a special part of their very essence." Unfortunately, by pleading guilty, it will rob everyone of finding out why he did what he did. And, was there an intended victim? Was he just stalking them? Was it just a random crime? We don't know yet, and maybe we will never know. But one theory that I've heard floated around quite a bit is the restaurant that Maddie and Xana both worked at. It was called the Mad Greek. It was on Main Street in Moscow, and it served some of the vegan dishes that Brian would have liked. And just as recently as August 19th, like this year, so we're just getting information from his cell phone now after he's already in jail. New information from Brian's phone has been released, and it shows that his phone would have come in contact with the Mad Greek Wi-Fi. An ex-employee there said that she recalls seeing him in the restaurant at least twice ordering a vegan pizza. This would be something that the owner would dispute, but she would also add that she wanted people to stop harassing her workers. So who really knows if she means that he wasn't there or if she's just trying to like get the business left alone. And the fact that his phone may have come in contact with their Wi-Fi there might not be so important because, you know, it seems like it was one of the few things that Brian had missed. Like, okay, so the way this was explained, so the fact that his Wi-Fi was connecting to the Mad Greek was something that he didn't completely wipe off his phone. They said that he did like a forensic cleaning of his phone. And from November 11th to the 16th, it was like he hasn't been anywhere or done anything. Like his phone wasn't registering movement of any sort between those times, but it still was picking up that he was at the Mad Greek. So it was one thing that he accidentally didn't completely clean. So for those 5 days that the phone was inactive, seemingly, it just completely removed everything from his history. A digital cleanup is what they called it. And then after Brian was arrested, the moderators of the discussion Facebook group saw his picture and discussed with each other how similar the profile pic was of Papa Rogers. I'm going to show it to you because I'm going to show it to you because it's uncanny. And you have to remember that when Papa Rogers was in this group, no one knew who the killer was, right? So he had this profile picture the entire time, and nobody would have just been imitating him because they didn't know who he was. But so
there's no picture to steal yet.
Exactly. So I'm going to show it to you as soon as I'm done this part here. But when they went back to look at the Papa Rogers profile, it was completely gone. The one moderator said, like, you know, even if he had been in the group and then left, you can usually go back to like a thread and still see like his old comments from before he left. But the entire profile was wiped. It was gone. And the only reason they had the screenshots, which they put up in the documentary, the 4 series that I watched, was because when they were getting all these complaints, they were screenshotting it and sending it to each other. So they had like that saved. So it was completely wiped, albeit for the screen grabs that we wouldn't have had anything. And I will show it to you.
Like taunting? Is that to me is like when you
like
send
trying
to the
to send
media
them in a different direction from the white launcher and stuff like that.
Yeah, but then saying like, has the killer left? Like as he left.
As he was leaving, that's exactly right.
Like,
it's
why
crazy.
would you finger yourself like that unless you're attacking another dog?
I think this was his way of like kind of keeping up with if there was any kind of information that he didn't know.
It is
that somebody could offer him.
It is the ultimate, you know, they say you return to the scene of the crime, or they try to put them, I mean, they say, I watch on Criminal Minds, or they try to like put themselves inside the investigation somehow or help.
Oh,
or help
yeah. Oh, and they always return. Yeah. They'll be at like press conferences. Yeah. So, yeah, I will show you the picture in just one quick second, but, you know, because the whole profile is wiped, we're never going to be able to trace it back to a location. It's gone. But one theory, though, that makes a lot of sense to me is his classmates, a bunch of them mentioned this, that they would learn about different serial killers in school. And Brian seemed extra interested when it came to a serial killer named Elliot Rogers, who was a self-proclaimed incel and would blame the reason he ended up taking 6 lives, injuring a bunch more, and then taking his own life. And the spelling of Rogers would have a D in it.
Come on.
Yeah.
I noted that from earlier.
So, you know, it would be both Elliot's and Papa Rogers' last name. But that's entirely speculation because, once again, unless he comes out and says something, it's all just huge coincidence. Brian is now saying, where he's being held in maximum security, that the other inmates are taking turns harassing him through the prison vents around the clock.
Ew, that's all right. Yeah, jail, doing your thing.
So he's in maximum security, and, you know, the jail... This would be the quote that they put out when they're like, oh, we hear Kohberger's getting harassed. The prison would just say, quote, "We are aware of Kohberger's complaints of what he considers taunting."
Oh, my God. That is amazing.
Yep. So, it really
He
doesn't
didn't see
sound.
nothing yet.
God, I hope not.
Oh man,
It doesn't sound to me like, they're going to be taking immediate action on that problem.
no,
Probably got a few other things
no.
on
Be
the go.
like, who's been screaming in his vents? You smoke menthol? Is
Do you
it
need a
regulars?
Halls? How's your throat?
Do you need a lighter? Can I get you? Do you need women? Like we can sneak in girls here. Whatever you need,
What
buddy.
do you need? Just keep the yelling up.
You want a back rub?
So, although it will never ever compare to what he did to those kids that morning while they slept, but to him, I would say, isn't it unfortunate when somebody intrudes on your safe place and you're just trying to mind your own business? I think he's receiving a very, very, like, I can't even describe how very mild form of what he doled out. So fuck him right to hell. I hope the prison justice system never loses interest in him. The families of the four murdered students would receive posthumous degrees for the victims 6 months after they were murdered. According to Emily, the girl who went there in the morning with her boyfriend, she was the ones that made the discovery on that horrible November 13th of 2022. She no longer follows the case. She and Hunter graduated and they moved out to Boise, Idaho in 2023. And she said she no longer follows the case because of all the lies that were told and how many people how many people are just focused on Brian instead of who these other four souls were.
True.
And, she would say, she said at the end of the documentary, he's a loser and he does not deserve to have people talking about him. And that the only names that should be remembered are Xana Kernoodle, Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Goncalves, and Maddie Mogen. And that was our coverage on the four of these seemingly wonderful young people who had so much more to offer the world.
So when they want to make a deal, right? Mm-hmm. Don't you have them by the balls now? Mm-hmm. So then why can't you say, listen, you're going to give some fucking closure and we're going to say what fucking happened here, buddy? Why can you not make that a stipulation and be like, you don't want to die? Tell us. Oh, stop it.
That's the Papa Rogers profile picture.
But what is that photo?
It's like an animation. Him. No, it's an animation. It's not a photo. Here, we should show it. I will post it too, but you can see.
Man.
Very similar. Same.
I think there's a real issue with the let's make a deal system. I think a lot of
people feel the same way because the evidence was outstanding. It was really, it boils down to if the district attorney was okay with it, and they were, and you don't really know why.
Well, I think a lot of it is, listen, it's a death penalty case. It's going to cost a lot of money for the state. It's going to cost this, and we got to do that. And it's like, all right. And then you can get a $2 bullet.
Yeah.
And then
that's what it would have been. It would have been a firing squad.
That's the only way they should kill people. That's the only true way, I think, is a firing squad.
I think, you know what, for him, the more torture, the better.
Yeah, death by 1,000 cuts would be pretty appropriate.
And vinegar.
Yeah, man, I just the damage, like just the physical damage. Mm-hmm. It seems astonishing.
I know, it's awful. It's really, really awful.
For a non-personal, this is it seems very hateful.
To me, I go back and forth too. And I don't think that these two things are mutually exclusive. I think that there's a very good possibility that part of it has to do with the incel thing, where, he wanted girls and he was just so off-putting as a human being that they didn't want him. And I also think that he because he did have this arrogance about him, he wanted to see if he could get away with the perfect crime. And I think that's shown in the fact that clearly there was no DNA in his car or anything. He must have figured out some sort of a suit, stripped down,
I think
buried
you're right
it
with
somewhere.
The jumps,
and then he's picking apart the garbage, and he's got a checklist in his mind, right? So I think that it's both arrogance and incel stuff. I think
right.
One thing I did wonder though is because if Xana hadn't interrupted what he was doing to Maddie and Kaylee, would he have killed her? Because he didn't kill Dylan.
Right.
And he must have known the house because he came in through the kitchen and went right to Maddie's room, which is it's a 6-bedroom house.
Right.
So it's you could see from the back of the building, you could see right in Maddie and Kaylee's rooms. and Maddie had a like a pink M, like just a big pink M in like her cowboy boots that she would have in her window. So if he could see that as just, he would know right where to go. But like he didn't kill Dylan. And then maybe did he know that Kaylee was there? Because Kaylee wasn't living there. Maybe it was Maddie was his intended victim. Like there's so much speculation, and I hate to like I hate to do what ifs.
Yeah.
But maybe he did see her at the restaurant she worked, and saw her as all the women that he could never have. Because they were all beautiful, just stunning.
Yeah.
So that's that, guys. That's it's a big case, but I mean, I highly recommend reading the book When the Night Comes Falling. It's so well done. He lived in Idaho right after the killings and really had boots on the ground, I guess.
What the garbage, if he had done it, say right from the day that he killed them, if he had separated and hidden his garbage.
No, because they still would have got the dad's DNA, and they would have known that his son was the one whose DNA was on the sheath. And then the sheath took him down.
Would it have been the same if they didn't find the dad's cup? Let's say they found the sisters. Could they tell?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
This is to the right. This
DNA
is a sibling.
Could say that, this is a female DNA and this is a sibling. Exactly. Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay. So regardless of the garbage they find in that house, it's in that house. It's somebody eventually. In that house.
Yes. As soon as they narrowed it down to Michael and Marianne's wedding,
you're done.
You're done. But I will tell you that
oh man, that's wild.
In the case of the Golden State Killer, it was a nephew who. So the nephew had given his DNA to do one of these GED matches.
Max Theo, don't be doing that.
And then they were able to figure out. So it was a nephew of this family. And so then what they were able to do was to say, okay, this nephew has two uncles. And then so they took those two uncles, and the first one that they went to try to match the locations as to where the killings were happening.
Right.
And they couldn't match it. And then when they went with Joseph D'Angelo, they were able to match up the locations to all the killings where he had moved throughout his life.
Wow.
Crazy, I know. Yeah. So
man, that's a ton of work.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Gotta be
great.
The most fulfilling, like when you get a result on something like that, and it's so black and white. It's not just like, well, maybe this is what we got. It's like when you can figure that out, that has got to be the most gratifying feeling in the world.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know who's not cool? This piece of shit.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no it's okay. It only took you 3 episodes to remember.
Oh, yeah. Right. I forgot.
All right, guys.
Happy belated birthday.
If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe.
Yeah. Hit that like and subscribe button. Smash it.
Just do it.
Yeah. And leave a comment and a review and tell a friend. Why not?
So many friends. You know what? We would like to know how many friends you have, because we don't think there's a lot.
Yeah. So. I say 0. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Also, go Blue Jays. Making the playoffs this year.
Okay. Go Jays.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.